guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome day to day 24 of Vlogmas. For today's episode, I'm doing my November what sold, mostly on Poshmark, but I did have one Etsy sale that I'll go over with you. So I'm going to do my classic half screen where I'll pull up what sold and talk a little bit about it. I did do 2 Posh shows, but we're going to talk about everything that happened, cancellations, glitches. It was all over the place, which I think led me to like my worst November ever, because last year I had the best sales ever in November. This year, quite the opposite. So let's go ahead and get right into it. If I look down, it's because I'm looking down at my laptop. So on Poshmark, I had a total of 27 sales, but only 7 of those sales were like regular Posh sales where somebody purchased something out of your closet. The other 20 were a combination of show sales. So starting off, sales started on November 2nd, and on November 2nd I hosted a t-shirt sale and I promoted it as t-shirts starting at $7. And I think I had about like 35 t-shirts listed. Out of those 35 listed, I had 18 sales. So the first t-shirt that sold was this Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. All of my t-shirts I get for $1, $2 at most. So that's why I promoted it at $7. I just wanted to clear stuff out. This bid went up to $13. So Jimi Hendrix t-shirt sold for $13. Up next is Vintage Disney Mickey by Jerry Lee. It was a 90s single stitch t-shirt. I had shown this t-shirt in a previous show, in 2 previous shows. Nobody bid on them. I had a Disney show. Nobody bid on it. I had like I think I included this in my birthday Posh show. Nobody bid on it. This day the bidding went up to $23. So if something doesn't sell in a show, don't be discouraged. Just keep bringing it back. I think this is the 3rd time I showed this t-shirt in a Posh show. So by the 3rd time, somebody got into a bidding war over it and it went up to $23. Up next is Mickey Mouse tie-dye t-shirt sold for $7. Then this Oxford University t-shirt, this one sold for $9. This Trolls t-shirt sold for $7. This one I thought was a really cool band that I love, Duran Duran. It was a concert t-shirt sold for $7. Up next, another cool find, at least I thought it was cool, was for Tower Records. This t-shirt sold for $7, and the buyer left me a really nice love note because she used to work at the Tower Records on Hollywood Boulevard, which was iconic. And I thought it was just really cool. That's why I picked it up, for nostalgia. So I'm so happy when somebody else buys it for that same reason. It kind of like validates why I picked it up. Not a big money maker, but it's just like those sales that make you happy. You know, you got it for $1, you got $5, whatever. Disney Pixar Pizza Planet Aliens tie-dye t-shirt sold for $7. This was just like a no brand t-shirt, but it had Rosie the Riveter on it. So I picked it up. I thought it was cool. Somebody bought it for $7. Up next, it wasn't like a 90s vintage. It was like Y2K from probably the swap meet. Not like a big money maker, but I titled it as a vintage The Cure t-shirt, sold for $7. I had this up for months. Nobody bid on it. So finally I let it go for $7. This Sublime t-shirt sold for $7. System of a Down t-shirt sold for $7. Again, I started all of my t-shirts off at $7. This Rocky Horror Picture Show, it was a 30th anniversary t-shirt, sold for $7. Dead Kennedys t-shirt sold for $7. This Pantera, it was the Domination Tour t-shirt, sold for $7. This Lisa Frank tie-dye t-shirt sold for $7. Again, I think this was the 2nd or 3rd time I showed this t-shirt in a show. Never got a bid. Finally got a bid for $7. Okay. Then, I kid you not, this was the glitchiest Posh show I've ever had, because like for me, it was towards the end of my show, but all of a sudden, like, I wasn't able to pin any items. Like, the screen didn't freeze, like the comments were still going, but like you weren't able to pin any new items or move to the next one. Like it was just like stuck. So I was like, I was freaking out because I was live. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like what's happening? Like I just couldn't select a new item to bid, to run an auction. So then people were coming into the show saying everybody's show is glitching, everybody's show is doing the same, try restarting. But then if you restart the show, like I had never done that before, so I was just nervous and I was like, are you sure? So I ended the show and I started a new one, but it was the same thing. Like nothing was it wasn't letting me select anything. And I did go into other Posh shows and all of the hosts were saying the same thing, that it was glitching. So people were still in the comments. So I told people, I was like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to end this show. Luckily, I only had like 5 more things to run. So I was like, if you guys go into my closet and like a t-shirt, just send me a $7 offer and I'll accept. So after that happened, 2 people did go into my closet and one of them made a bundle and one of them just bought a t-shirt outright, and I priced it down to $7. So, but yeah, that was like such a horrible glitch. Like, luckily it was at the end of my show, but like a lot of people that were starting couldn't even, like a lot of people had to completely reschedule their show because they couldn't even get anything running. So 2 people did go into my closet and make a bundle. So this person bought a bundle of this Che Guevara t-shirt and the Spiritual Gangster t-shirt. So I honored the $7 bid. So I sent her an offer for $14 and she accepted. And then this other person purchased this vintage 90s Y2K Chicano Lowrider t-shirt. It just said Mexico and it had a like the Mexican flag emblem embroidered. I sent them an offer for $7. I wanted to send them that offer since they wanted to buy it, but my show was glitching, so they purchased it for $7. So that was the show glitches. But then, so at this time, the bundling was not yet available. So it was on me to make the bundle, send the notification to the buyer. The buyer had to then purchase the bundle so I could go in and cancel their orders. So I had 2 people who had multiple purchases. One of them had 2, the other one had 7 purchases. So luckily it was still under the 5-pound weight limit. So I was like, okay, perfect, 7 t-shirts. I think it was like 3 pounds. So I created their bundles. This girl who had 7 items never responded. I was like, hey, here's your bundle. You have to purchase this bundle in order for me to go in and cancel your individual orders. Never acknowledged it. Like sent her multiple reminders, multiple days. Like I waited up until the 5th day. By the 5th day, I was like, I'm sorry, girl. If you don't reply, I'm shipping your order separately. She never replied. So I sent her 7 separate orders. Like she could have saved like almost $50 on shipping, but she never replied. So I shipped her 7 t-shirts separately. They were delivered. She accepted them. So I was like, okay. The second girl, she immediately accepted the bundle. I canceled her individual orders, shipped her bundle. Her bundle got returned to sender. So when that happens, Poshmark cancels the order and you have to reach out to the buyer to repurchase them. Reached out to her multiple times, was like, hey girl, your order got returned. You have to repurchase. You've already been refunded. If you're still interested in these t-shirts, let me know. Never replied. So 2 of those t-shirts ended up getting canceled and I have them back in my inventory. The Rocky Horror Picture Show and the Dead Kennedys t-shirt. And I kind of want to put this girl on blast because I see her all the time in Posh shows. So now I'm wondering if she does that. Like if she just buys a bunch of stuff and then the return to sender was due to insufficient address. So I don't know. It's just weird. So yeah, that was my first bad experience with Posh shows. After that, I did have one regular sale for this Manchester United jersey. It sold for $10. I got it at the bin, so it was like next to nothing. Up next is vintage Y2K Juicy Couture purse. I had this in a Posh show previously. It didn't sell. It finally sold outright, full price for $25 in my Poshmark closet. Another Y2K. I think I had this in my birthday show. It was a baby fat. It had a really big heart lock on it. I thought it was really cool. Sold for $14. Somebody sent me an offer. I accepted. I paid like $2 for that purse at the swap meet. So then moving on to my second Posh show and my last Posh show. November 12th. This was a Saturday. I had like 45 items in this Posh show, and a lot of it was brand new inventory that I had sourced specifically for this show. It was like lots of sweaters and like going into the holidays. This was the weekend where they approved a whole bunch. Like, I don't know, like I heard that they approved like almost 1,000 sellers. So like that weekend, I kid you not, there was like 60 shows happening at once. There were so many shows. This was the weekend where like the floodgates opened. I had two sales. It was like the worst show ever because I didn't have a lot of viewers. Like normally, I mean, I wouldn't have a lot usually, but I would have between 30, 40 viewers. This show, I would have like 5, 6. I don't ever think I made it over 10 viewers just because there were so many shows happening. So it was like, I could hear crickets, you guys. It was so cringy. Like, I was like, oh my God. And I was like trying to stay cool. Like, I didn't want to be that person to like freak out on camera. So I was just like running my items and I could hear the crickets in the back. And I was like, okay, moving on to the next. No worries. Blah, like no comments, nothing. It was like such a bad show. But I did end up making 2 sales. So this first one, I don't have a picture up because I used the quick list feature, but it was a Zara, just like a pink, kind of like almost like polo t-shirt. It sold for $10. And then the next item that sold was this Kate Spade Broome Street embroidered button-down shirt. This one also sold for $10. So that was the last time I had a Posh show. I was just like so disappointed. And after that, it's just been crazy. Like so many Posh shows have been going on. And then that's when the whole silent auction trend started. And the Posh show feed has just been so flooded that I haven't even bothered to have a new show. I still want to try again. Definitely next year in January. I think I'll schedule a couple of Posh shows. But I haven't had a Posh show since. So that was my worst performing Posh show with only 2 sales. So this is the last of my sales. This Torrid red and black checkered flannel sold for $17. Up next is Free People Nadia Razorback bralette. This is for my Free People lot, sold for $14. Up next is Torrid leopard print midi dress. I got this at the bin, so I probably paid like $2 for it. Sold for $14. And then the last item that sold in November was the Sanrio Hello Kitty luggage. It was like it was a kid's carry-on luggage, so it weighed under 5 pounds. I had to put it in a large poly mailer because it didn't fit in any of the boxes. I accepted an offer for $20. My cost of goods for this was $1. I just wanted to get it out of my house because it was such a bulky item. But that's it. That's everything that sold on Poshmark in November. 27 sales. 20 of those were from Posh shows and 7 of those sales were standalone sales. And navigated so many Posh show glitches, cancellations. It was just all over the place. In total, my total sales on Poshmark was $280, which is, I mean, not the worst month. I've had worse months this year, but like it's down there. And you know me, I'm a part-time reseller, very part-time. So for me, as long as I make $500 a month, I'm good. But and I used to be able to do that easy. But this year has been a real struggle. Did not hit my goal on Poshmark this month. But I do want to talk about Etsy. I had one sale and it was this vintage round train case. It sold for $85. But I did have free shipping on that, so I paid out of pocket for shipping. So I think the shipping cost was around $14. So I'm cashing out $74 after fees, and then minus the $14, I'm still cashing out $50 minus my cost of goods, $4.99. I made like $45 on this vintage purse. This every year, but I really want to focus on Etsy a lot next year and get my listings up, get a lot of more of my vintage listings over there, because I have great sales, definitely higher value sales on Etsy. And that's it for today's video. I feel like a lot of people have been posting their year-end sales goal. I'm still doing my November, and I'll probably do my end of year at the beginning of January. But it is Christmas Eve, so I'm getting ready to go celebrate with my family. Just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I will be back tomorrow with my final episode of Vlogmas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.